Hello everyone, Zelrant here, and today we're looking at Etheria restarting another character within it. Now, as I've said in previous videos, this is just a quick kit overview for a character. This is just meant to help people kind of get an idea of characters they may want to try out in the first test, or potentially be ones that they want to target for launch, whether they're re-rolling or just going to pick them on the beginner's banner. I will be doing follow-up videos in the future when it comes to putting gear on them, team synergies, skill upgrades, amongst all the other little things that will put the character together. So right now this is just a character overview of their kit. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So this one I'm going to be looking at here is going to be Lily. She looks to be pretty good on kind of that supportive side of things in terms of helping your team. But let's just go ahead and get right into her skills here. So we have the first one here, which is her basic attack. This is the one she can do every turn. It's called Turn Meter here. Now, it does have a buff here regarding Twin Trick. We'll take a look at that here. It's within her buff. So when we get to that part, we'll look at the buff. But first, let's just look at the skill overall. So Lily asks Mr. Rabby to strike swiftly, dealing 240% damage to a single enemy with a 50% chance to increase turn meter by 20% for herself and the ally with the lowest turn meter. So, like I've said in other characters' kits, this is basically speed manipulation to a certain extent. You can kind of, if you're familiar with like HSR, it's kind of like action advance from what I can understand on it. So you definitely are going to want to take advantage of these with the characters. That's like the favorite parts of my characters. If you can get the action advantage over the enemy, then you generally have the high. As long as you're more equal, you're going to win the fight. And so, definitely a huge thing right there. I like with her right off the bat having the turn manipulation. But then you also, with the ally that has the lowest turn meter, which is the one that has the biggest benefit to take from that turn meter increase, is also going to get it with a 50% chance. So it's not guaranteed, but it's going to happen on average every other time you use this attack. And then allies with the Twin Trick have a 100% chance to support. This is kind of like in Girls Frontline 2, or you can even say from HSR, a follow-up or support action where they do an attack. You can kind of see it here and right here, assist. When an ally gets hit by an active attack, follows up on the main target with the basic attack. Now, the biggest thing is this Twin Trick. So this is actually a buff, and we'll look at the details of it here in a second. But how you get an ally to have the buff Twin Trick is right here, the level 5 buff here. We have Shadow Trick. So on this one, this has a 3-turn cooldown. Lily controls Rabby and P2, applies Twin Trick to the targeted ally. So this is basically a buff. You select an ally and you apply Twin Trick to them. And what Twin Trick is after every Lily's action increases the effect holder's turn meter by 30%. So whoever she puts this on, she's making them fairly fast. And the fact that every time Lily goes, she manipulates their turn action or turn meter. And then Lily can only apply this effect to one target other than herself at a time. And this effect is removed if Lily dies. Okay, so you put that on the ally and then apply 2-turn speed to all allies. So now all of your allies are much faster, so more turn manipulation or speed for your team. If the target already has Twin Trick, so basically when this buff, when you reset this cooldown, because to me, this is going to be a buff that you're going to just put on the same person every turn. So the second time this ability comes available, applies 3 turns of crit damage plus instead, and immediately starts the next turn. So that is pretty good. You basically full advance. That's like a Bronya from HSR. Immediate action advance all the way to the front. They get to go again, and you've put crit damage on top of them. And this increases crit damage by 50%. Now, this is one thing. There's a reason I'm looking at her at next here, and that is because the last character I just covered, Rosa, was a big crit user. Does a lot of crits, and it's going to be constantly doing crits. And I think Lily is going to be one that would pair very well with her because you're going to put Twin Trick on her, and it's going to help her speed up her turns as well as getting more crits. And then you're going to have following up attacks. And if you already remember, Rosa already can do her own follow-up attack. And now this turn one here, she can also do assists here. I don't know how it kind of works. I'm going to have to test that more for interactions when I start looking at team synergies. But it almost feels like this can get you 2 support actions from her, one from her own follow-up attack, and then one for her assist here. Of course, my cat decides to jump in and join this. But let's go ahead and now look at her next one here, which is her AoE, or basically her big skill here. This one has a 5-turn cooldown. But this one is the show begins. Lily cooperates with Mr. Rabby, and Mr. Pichu deals 260% damage to all enemies with a 55% chance to extend all skill cooldowns by 1 turn. And that is pretty huge there, because not only do I like the ability to you got a lot of damage, but I like to speed up our team. But this isn't effectively isn't slowing down the other team, but it is increasing their skill cooldowns so that they now have to, it's going to take longer for them to do their bigger hits. Like if you look at this skill right here, this one has a 5-turn cooldown. Now imagine you do this to somebody that has a skill that has a 5-turn cooldown. This effectively turns it into a 6-turn cooldown, and now you're doing this to the entire team on a giant AoE. Now, it's a 55% chance, so it's not guaranteed, but it is something that could turn the tide of battle just because you delay them by 1 turn on all their big skills. They'll do it the first time, and now you just delayed a good chunk of them again. And it can kind of throw in some kinks because the other team has to plan around it. You don't know, because it's a 55% chance, so not everybody's going to get hit by it, and you don't know which one, so it can throw off a rotation on another team. So that is really, really nice there. And then you have the second part here where it resets all the skill cooldowns for the ally with Twin Trick. So like I said, if we're dealing with Rosa here, which was the big crit user I was talked about before, it's going to reset all her skill cooldowns. And if you remember, she had an ultimate, I believe, with a 4-turn cooldown. So she can do that ultimate, then you rotate right into her, she runs her ultimate, and this has the potential to then reset Rosa to be able to do her ultimate back to back, as well as potentially extending the enemy skill turns. So that is pretty huge here. I really like this kit overall. And like I said, it's going to pair, I mean, she's going to be a good target for me to want to get simply because she pairs with one of the characters that I really like, just based on what I can tell. But this isn't just going to apply to her, though. This is going to apply to, like, most people. Like, anything where you can control the battlefield through turn manipulation or extending the skill cooldowns slash resetting your own is going to be huge. I mean, those are the characters I'm looking for. So she is a character that I really like in terms of her kit. We'll kind of have to see. I mean, I haven't looked at everybody's yet, but I mean, every time I look at one, I'm like, oh, that's really good. So I think like I think this game's going to be fairly balanced in that sense that they all look really good, but you're going to have kind of that, I mean, while hers is really good, while you're fighting somebody who's going to have similar effects to this. And so overall, it looks pretty good, but that's Lily's kit. We'll see what comes with the next ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.